This third eye yoga sequencing. So we're going to be balancing and healing the third eye, which is all about intuition. So if you have a blue color, an indigo type of color on, you're right on. And if you don't, that's okay too. So as we find our seated position, you can do a cross-legged or half lotus, whatever feels best for you. And then draw your awareness to the base of the spine and start to lift up through the crown of the head. And notice where the shoulders go as you lift up. They might lift up too, but start to draw them down, melt them away from the ears. And then allow the eyes to gently close. Bring your awareness to the third eye, right between the eyebrows, and maybe even just up a little bit above the eyebrows between them. And it might feel like you have this little bit of a cross-eyed action going, and that's exactly right. And then bring your awareness and observation of the breath. Just notice the breath. It might feel cool or warm. It might feel smooth or choppy. Just notice the characteristics of your breath. And then let's take a deep unifying breath in through the nostrils. Open mouth, exhale. Let it go. And then bring your awareness to an intention. And your intention this morning might be about I am wise, or I follow my intuition. Whatever it is for you, allow that intention to follow you throughout the practice. And then gently float the eyes open. And I don't know if you guys have ever done this before. It's gonna look funny, so when you look at the screen, it's gonna look funny because we're gonna do some eye asanas. And if you're staring at a screen for a long time, which a lot of us are now, it can really help with the eyes and the stimulation of that. So the first one we're gonna keep our eyes wide open, almost like you're scared, wide open eyes. And then start to draw the eyes towards the nose, towards the end of the nose. And then keep the eyes wide open as you draw the eyes towards the nose. And then keeping the eyes wide open, without moving the head, bring the eyes up towards the sky. Eyes wide open, looking up towards the sky. And then keeping the eyes wide open, looking down towards the ground. And that might feel kind of challenging to do, keeping eyes wide open and still looking down at the ground. Resist the urge to move the head. And then keeping the eyes wide open, look over to the right. And the tendency is you want to move your head too, but just let the eyes move over. Keeping the eyes wide open. And then back to center, over to the left. And then back to center, keeping the eyes wide open. Circle the eyes around in a circular motion. And then circle it around the other way. And then find some neutral position and allow some softness to come into the eyelids. And then pushing the hands together, almost like you're warming up your hands. And then place the hands over the eyeballs, just kind of like caressing the eyes and giving them this little break. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, release the hands down to the side of the body, and then just notice how you feel for a moment. Inhale, sweep the arms up high. Exhale, forward, landing on the fingertips, palms, or maybe your yoga block. Maybe you land the head on the yoga block. And whatever height that is for you, and if you land it into the yoga block or on your mat, maybe if it roll on the forehead from left to right and right to left. And then walking the hands over to the right. Maybe place the left hand on top of the right. And walk it back to center. Walk it over to the left. Maybe even placing the right palm on top of the left. And walk it back to center, rounding up through the back. Hands come towards the heart. Inhale, lift high. Exhale over to the right side. Come down on the right palm, or maybe even the forearms, and reach it over, arching over in a C shape. Press the left hip into the earth. Draw the belly in. And then bring the left shoulder and the chest towards the earth. Inhale, press up. The top arm crosses the opposite knee, twist to the right. The right palm comes behind the right hip. Use that as leverage to lift the spine tall. Gazes towards the side, or maybe even gaze all the way back. Keep the eyes wide open again. And release to center. Inhale, lift high. Exhale to the left side. Come down on the left palm or the forearm, reaching over. And bring the right shoulder and the chest towards the earth. Inhale, press up. The top arm crosses the opposite knee, twist to the left. Left palm behind the left hip. Use that as leverage to lift through the spine. And release to center. Hands come towards the knees. Reach the chest over the left knee. Reach out through the crown of the head. And move it over to the center and over to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, circle it around. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. And whenever you're ready, reverse that motion. Inhale up. Exhale down. And find a neutral position. Allow the eyes to gently close. Move inward for just a moment. Relax the eyelids. Relax the shoulders. And float the eyes open. Release the legs, press the heels straight out. Maybe you do little karate chops on the legs, or even a little fist and then pounding on the legs just to get that circulation going again. And then hug the right heel in towards the hip. So we're bringing that right knee in towards the chest. Reach for the left big toe. And then see where you can relax the head and just let the head go soft. And inhale, lift up. Bring the right knee down. We're squaring the shoulders, square the hips. Bring the right sole of the foot right in the inside of the left thigh. And if you have your block near you, you might want to have it right next to, kind of by the knee. Slide the hands down the left leg, reaching for the left big toe, and then inhale up. Exhale, slide it down. Maybe moving farther with each breath, reaching a little bit closer to the left big toes. Whenever you feel like you're done, land there and hold it there. And maybe use that block to land the forehead on. And inhale up and straightening out the right leg. Bring the left heel in towards the chest, hug it in. Reach for the right big toe. And release the left knee down, square the shoulders, square the hips. We're bringing the left sole of the foot on the inside of the right thigh. And then slide the hands down the right leg and then inhale up, exhale down. Inhaling and exhaling, move through as many of these that you feel that you need to before landing. And just holding it there again, maybe using your block to bring the forehead on. This height of the block might be higher or lower on this side. And inhale up. Bring the soles of the feet together in butterfly. Release the knees away from one another and maybe even rock from side to side, almost like you're massaging through the hips and the glutes. And maybe you flap the butterfly wings if that feels good for you. And then lift up through the spine. You can hold it here or exhale forward. If you have that yoga block too, you can bring the forehead to the yoga block if that's available to you. One more breath in, one more breath out. And inhale, lift up, draw the knees together, closing them up like a book. And then lift up through a squat. We're just here for a moment. And then tabletop. Hands come right underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Knees are hip distance apart. And create some organic movement in the body. There's no right or wrong here. Just explore, feel it out in the body, get some feedback going, get some information from the body of what's happening. A little dialogue from my body, like my bones even feel cold. I don't know if that's possible, but my bones are cold. That's the feedback that I'm getting. And move through a couple cat and cows around through the back, arching up like a cat. Tuck the chin in, scoop through the pelvis, and release into cow. The belly comes down towards the earth. Lift through the heart and hips. Lengthen through the neck and round through the back. Moving through a couple of these, your breath, your pace. And when you feel like you're just done through that, find child's pose, press the hips back towards the heels, reach the arms out, relax the forehead down. Again, if you can't bring the forehead down onto something, use a block or something to press the forehead into. And as you press the forehead into whatever it is you land on, maybe even roll from side to side, from left to right and right to left. And then pull through the palms, tabletop, plank. The hands come right underneath the shoulders. The feet are hip distance apart. The balls of the feet come underneath the heels. Draw the belly in and up. And downward dog, lift through the hips. Explore your downward dog. That might be bending the knees quite a bit to help lengthen through the spine. It might be pedaling out the heels or pressing on one heel longer, or maybe even lifting a leg, or even get a little bounce in there. No right or wrong. Explore this out. It's your practice. And then shift back into plank. And then downward dog. We're going to shift forward and back from downward dog to plank. Downward dog to plank. Inhaling and exhaling. One more. And we meet in downward dog. Float or step the feet forward into forward fold. Bend the knees a little or a lot. Relax the head. Bring a little extra weight into this by creating box arms, opposite hand to opposite elbow. And maybe shake the head yes and no, shrug the shoulders back and forth. And releasing the deeper forward fold. Halfway lift, flat back. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. And exhale forward. Bend the knees a little or a lot. Roll it up one segment at a time. Slow, easy roll up to the top. Once you get to the top, inhale, sweep the arms up high. Press the palms together, heart center. And then bring the thumbs up towards the third eye, right between the brow, and press in to the third eye. We're holding it here for a moment. And inhale, reach, lift, lengthen, open to the right. Bring that right arm all the way back. Left arm is forward. Keep the hips squared. Gazes towards the side wall or maybe all the way back. Inhale, reach, lift, lengthen. Exhale to the opposite side. Bring the left arm all the way back. Right arm is forward. Gaze is towards the side or all the way back. Inhale, reach, lift, lengthen. Come right through heart-centered forward fold. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale forward. Press back to plank. Hold it here. And the knees come down. The chest comes down. The chin comes down. Tuck the elbows in. Baby cobra. Lift up through just the upper chest. Draw the elbows in. Shoulders come away from the ears. Exhale forward. Press up to plank. Downward dog. One full breath in. One full breath out. The right leg reaches high towards the sky. Draw the right knee in towards the nose. Round through the back. Exhale, press it out. Knee to nose, bring it in. Exhale, press it out. The right leg comes forward, lunge. The right knee is over the right ankle. Reach the left leg long. Lengthen through the crown of the head. The left leg comes forward, forward fold. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale forward. Bend the knees. Inhale, reach, lift, lengthen. Exhale, heart center, press through the palms. Bring the thumbs towards the third eye. Once again, press into the third eye space. Inhale, reach, lift, lengthen. Open to the right. Inhale, reach, lift, lengthen. Exhale to the left. Inhale, reach, lift, lengthen. Come right down through heart-centered forward fold. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward. Press back to plank. Hold it here. And the knees come down, the chest comes down, the chin comes down, baby cobra. Maybe start to straighten out the arms in cobra. Explore this a little bit in the body, in the back. When you're done exploring, press up to plank, downward dog, one full breath in, one full breath out. The left leg reaches high towards the sky. Draw the knee in towards the nose, round through the back. Exhale, press it out. Knee to nose. Exhale, press it out. The left leg comes forward. Lunge. Left knee over the left ankle. Reach the right leg long. And the right leg comes forward, forward, fold. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward. Bend the knees. Inhale, reach, lift, lengthen all the way up. Exhale, heart center, press through the palms. Bring the thumbs to the third eye. Press into that space. Inhale, reach, lift, lengthen, open to the right. Inhale, reach, open to the left. Inhale, reach, exhale, heart center, come all the way down, forward fold. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward, press back to plank. And you can move through a vinyasa flow of your choice. You can move from knees, chest, chin, or high to low plank, coming into baby cobra, cobra, or up dog. We meet in downward dog. One full breath in, one full breath out. The right leg reaches high towards the sky. Release the right ankle towards the hip. Stack the right hip over the left. We're creating space from the right pinky all the way up to the right knee. Straighten out the right leg. Come through into warrior one. Square the shoulders, square the hips. That right foot is straight forward where you plant the back, heel down. Inhale, lift the arms up high, shoulders stay soft. Beautiful, everyone. Chest expansion, arms. Roll the arms behind, roll the shoulders back, start to press the palms together, puff up through the chest. And humble warrior. The right shoulder is going to come towards the right knee. And maybe you bring the hands away from the back. Release the head away from the back of the neck. The hands come to the back and inhale back up to warrior one. Keeping the hips squared forward. And then come back on the back ball of the foot. So we're going to adjust to that back ball of the foot more in this crescent lunge. And hands come towards the heart and then do a little launch off. So we're going to launch off the back foot, shifting the weight to the right foot for warrior three. Pressing back through the left heel. Can be a little challenge on the balance. And then bring the left leg down and we're coming to a mountain pose, so lifting up through the chest. And let that go, shake that out. You might feel that on the right hip. And inhale, sweep the arms up high. Exhale, bring the right arm down. Wrap the left arm around the right. Eagle pose. Elbows come high and away from the chest. Option to wrap the leg. Left leg comes to the side. And maybe you kickstand it here. Maybe you wrap it a little bit more. Maybe even bend through the knees. Maybe even bring the elbows towards the knees to nest the eagle. And if this doesn't feel right in the arms, you can always just do a hug in the arms too. If you nested the eagle, inhale, lift up. Release the leg without releasing the arms yet. We're keeping the arms in eagle pose. From here, we're gonna lift that left leg back to eagle arms, warrior three. Bringing the left leg all the way back. Yes, I know it's a challenge. So this is about the third eye. We're finding that focal point, drishti point in front of us or perhaps down at the floor to focus on. And land that left foot back to a crescent lunge. Eagle arms still, we're back in the back ball of the foot. And then release the arms. Inhale, sweep the arms up high. Exhale, frame the right foot. Press back to plank. You can move through a vinyasa flow or come right up to downward dog. Your option, your practice. What do you feel like you need to do here? Nice work, everyone. Yeah, beautiful. Moving to the other side. Left leg reaches high towards the sky. Release the left ankle towards the hip, stack the left hip over the right. Straightening out the left leg, coming through into warrior one on this side. Plant the back heel down, left knees over the left ankle, square it forward, reach the arms up high. release the hands behind, roll the shoulders back, puff up through the chest. Humble warrior. Left shoulder comes towards the left knee. Maybe bring the hands away from the back, release the head away from the back of the neck. Hands come to the back, inhale back up to warrior one. Reach the arms forward. Come back on the back ball of the foot. We're in a crescent lunge. And then bring the hands towards the heart. Shift forward into warrior three. So we're launching off the back foot. And that might take a couple steps to help stabilize here. We're pushing into the right heel, activating the back leg. And bring the right leg back down, coming into mountain pose. We're lifting up through the chest. Shake it out if you need to. And switching sides for eagle arms. Inhale, lift the arms up high. Switching sides, so we're going to bring that left arm down, wrap the right arm around, or you can just do that hug. And staying here if you want to, or wrap the opposite leg around. I think I switched. Just make sure you switch sides. And then if you want, you can nest the eagle here. This is your eagle. Make it how it feels best in your body. Everyone's shape of eagle is going to be different, and there's no shape of eagle that's right. If you nested the eagle, lift up through the chest, keeping your eagle arms, unwrap, and then press back to warrior three, pressing back the left heel. I think I got my legs mixed up. And then bring that back foot down, stabilize in a crescent lunge. And then release the arms, sweep them up high. Exhale, frame the left foot, press back to plank. You can move through a vinyasa flow of your choice here, or skip it all together. Your option, your practice. Wherever you're at, we meet in downward dog. One full breath in, one full breath out. And then bringing the knees down, tabletop, and pressing back to child's pose. We're just here for a moment, preparing for hare pose. And hare pose, we're gonna come on the forehead and then roll up onto the crown of our head, lifting up through the hips. So start on your forehead and then start to roll up on the crown of the head. The hips lift up. Use the forearms for support so that there's no pressure on the neck at all. The crown of the head just kind of floats over the mat. One more breath in, one more breath out. And press back to child's pose. One full breath in, One full breath out. Dolphin plank. As you come into dolphin plank, we're pulling up through the palms and making one fist and wrapping the hands around the hand, the fisted hand, and then lift up through the knees. You can always modify this by bringing the knees down. That's perfectly fine. Otherwise, our gaze is just slightly forward. And we're holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The knees come down and the chest comes down. Relax, bringing the arms to the side of the body. Rest on one cheek or the other. Relax the glutes, soften the shoulders. And one more time, inhale, lift up, dolphin arms, dolphin plank, lifting up through the belly, lifting up through the legs, reaching out through the crown of the head. And we're just here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees come down, the chest comes down, and bring the arms to the side of the body and resting on the opposite cheek. Let the hips go. And maybe you were holding your breath during that, so that might require a deep breath in, maybe even an open mouth sigh out. Pressing back to child's pose. Pull up through tabletop and downward dog. Lift through the hips. The right leg reaches high towards the sky. Release the right ankle towards the hip. Stack the right hip over the left. Maybe get some ankle rotation back there. Straightening out the right leg, come through into pigeon. As you come into pigeon, get comfortable with this by exploring the pelvis. And no rushing into pigeon at all. Maybe find a gentle rock through the pelvis side to side. Once you just get kind of into that, lengthen from the base of the spine all the way out to the crown of the head, and from the base of the spine all the way back to the left foot. Maybe even coming on the back wall of the foot and giving yourself a little tug back there to lengthen the back leg. And if you have your yoga block handy too, you may want to relax the forehead on the yoga block or stack your fists and press the forehead into the fist. One more breath in, one more breath out. And And then lifting up through the chest. We're gonna hold this here for a couple breaths. Staying lifted in the chest. Gaze might be down towards the floor, finding this quieting of the mind. And you can stay here longer or start to lift the hips up in a downward dog with the right leg raised or just downward dog. Maybe pedal at the heels to create some symmetry and balance. And switching sides. The left leg reaches high. Release the left ankle towards the hip. And maybe some ankle rotation back on this side. Straightening up the left leg, coming through into pigeon on this side. Give this side as much attention, affection as the other side. No rushing it. You can use your yoga block again or stack the fists to relax the third eye into. Staying here longer if you would like, or lift up through the chest. We're going to hold it here for a couple breaths. Your gaze is down towards the earth, quieting the thoughts, quieting the mind, softening all the muscles in the face. Staying here longer if you would like, or lifting up to a raised downward dog or just downward dog. And pedal it out. Floater, step the feet forward, forward fold. Coming down into a squat, bring the hips down. Coming into a seat and make our way down onto our backs. Pressing the heels into the earth, lift up through the hip or the chest, reach the arms out and slowly making your way down. Coming down from the lower to middle to upper back, no rushing it. As you make your way down, back onto your mat. Full body stretch. Reach the arms out, walk the heels out. Gather up the knees in towards the chest and press into the lower back. And then bring the chin towards the knees, curling up in a ball. Relax the head back down. Bring the heels straight up towards the sky for legs up the wall. And if you would like, you can bring the hands underneath the hips as we start to create this L shape in the legs. Bring the right leg down, the right leg hovers over the mat. Left leg is lifted straight. And we're just hovering that right leg over the mat. And then switching, left leg hovers over the mat, right leg lifts high. And then switching and switching and switching. Inhaling and exhaling. If this feels like it's too much for the leg to be lifted straight, you can always just hug the knees in towards the chest too. Either way is fine. And we're here for 5, switching for 4, switching for 3, switching for 2, and pulsing in 1. Pulse it here, pulse the legs away from one another for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And switch, pulse it here for 5, pulsing for 4, pulsing for 3, 2, 1, and switch, 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 switch. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 5 more. 3. I missed 4. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Legs up the wall, remove the hands underneath the hips, and just hold those legs straight up. Take a deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Draw the knees in towards the chest. Straightening up the left leg, make that left leg go really long down to the mat. The right knee hugs in towards the chest and bring the right knee way off to the side, the right side, finding a fuller range of motion. And then cross the right leg across the body, twist open to the right. The right palm is going to rotate face up. Guide the right shoulder down. Your gaze is towards the side, so we're gazing over to the right palm. Inhale back to center. Switching sides, straightening out the right leg. Hug the left knee in towards the chest first, and then bring it over to the side, finding that fuller range of motion over to the left. Crossing the left leg across the body, twist open to the left. Left palm is face up. Guide the left shoulder down. Gaze is over towards the left palm. And inhale back to center. Draw both knees in towards the chest and rocking side to side, massaging through the lower back. Soles of the feet come into the earth, arms into a T. Releasing the knees side to side, helping release through any lower back tension. So take a moment to prepare for a deep relaxation. If there's any other posture that is calling to you in your body, perhaps a happy baby or a gentle plow, feel free to do that. And since it is so cold out, I highly recommend putting your socks back on or a jacket or a blanket over the body to keep the muscles warm. And as you make your way into Shavasana, you can always do legs up a chair or legs up a couch or wall. That can feel super nourishing to sweep the legs up onto a chair or couch. And as you make your way into relaxation, no rush getting there at all. We start Shavasana with the breath. Let's take 3 deep breaths in and 3 breaths out through an open mouth. Breath in. Let it go. 2 more. 1 more. Release it out. And then allow the breath to just follow its natural rhythm, its natural flow. Allow the eyelids to be super soft. Allow the outside corners of your mouth to draw down towards the earth, and the shoulders melt away from your ears. Letting go of any tension in the hips. Allowing that soft flow of a release come down through the legs. Releasing the ankles and then out the soles of the feet. And just for a moment, with the eyes soft and closed, bring the gaze up towards the third eye again. That awareness on the third eye helps activate the pineal gland, which is so important to our intuition. Our wisdom lies in the third eye. The third eye is about just knowing. There's a knowing that happens without information. So without any research, without any numbers, without any of that information overload that comes into our space through media, through friends, through all of that, the third eye is just a knowing. We just know. Allow that knowing to be with you and listen to that knowing without all the chatter from the outside world. Please stay here as long as you so desire. Or wiggling the fingers and the toes. Turning to your side, using your arm as a pillow. Allowing the body to readjust. taking your time, slowly arriving back to a seated position. There is no rush, there is no hurry at all. Hands come towards the heart. Inhale, lift the hands up high to the sky. Exhale the hands to the eyebrows, right between the third eye or at the third eye, at the mouth and heart center. The intuition and the wisdom in me is so inspired and honored by the intuition and wisdom within each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming to the third eye sequencing. I hope you enjoyed it.